Hey y'all, it's me, it's Bella, back at it again. So I wanted to come and do a little story time about what happened with my general exam, because you guys know I am working on my PhD. I'm 4th year into my biology PhD. Let's get right into it. I'm not even gonna do all that talking. So what's the general exam? First of all, my program, so they project us to be in for like 5 to 6 years, first of all. So after your first year, child, you know what? I'm kind of confused on the timeline now that I think about it. It's been so many years. But I think after your first year, you take your qualifying exam, which obviously I've taken already. And then sometime in your 3rd year or at the end of your 3rd year, you take your general exam. And that general exam is what says that you're going to get your PhD. Like, that's the point where you go in front of your committee, you know, and they decide whether you should continue with your PhD or not. So very important. And then after a general exam, you know, you'll defend your dissertation. So that'll be the next step after my general exam. And I feel bad, but it is what it is. But I am a major procrastinator. Like, it's severe. I will stay up all night the night before. Y'all know how I go if y'all been in school, but mine's is like really bad. Like, I would wait until the last hour. Like, it's horrible. Technically, I should have took my general exam in sometime around spring or summer of 2020. But y'all know we had a panoramic, so, and I wasn't in the lab, I wasn't doing experiments, so of course I got pushed behind. Fall came around and they were like, hey, you need to take a general exam or whatever. So I scheduled it for the end of fall 2020 in December. I scheduled it in September, I think. So from that point, me and my PI, who's amazing, we made a plan. We said, okay, we're gonna do this, this, and this, and we're gonna have this by this date, and this by this date, and I was like, yeah, okay, bet. So all these weeks are going by, months are going by, and he's like, oh, are you working? And I'm like, yeah. Knowing that I'm not doing anything, knowing that I'm just being distracted and not really working and just thinking I have all the time in the world to do this stuff. Comes around to like the couple of weeks before my general exam, and I'm just starting to realize I have so much work to do. But me being me, I'm just like, whatever, I could do it. I could push it out. Like, I could do it. You know, just push through. I'm gonna just not sleep and I'm gonna get it done, because that's what I usually do, and it worked for me. We're getting closer and closer to the date, and then he tells me like, hey, you need to have this done by Friday, you know, because this is the timeline we talked about. And I was like, because I hadn't even started, honey. Okay. And it was like Tuesday. So from that point on, like, that was like 2.5 weeks, I think, before or maybe 3.5 weeks before I had to schedule. I didn't sleep. Like, for just like two weeks, I just didn't sleep. And I was trying to push this workout, and then in the middle of doing all this, so I have a few professors on my committee, and one of them on my committee was like, hey, I want you to take my written test on this Tuesday. And me trying to be nice, I was like, okay, cool, because I didn't want to, you know, tell him like, can you wait? Nothing. That's rude. I was like, no. I was like, all right, bet, I'm gonna do it Tuesday. We agreed on a time, and now mind you, I told you I wasn't sleeping. So the day and the time that we agreed upon, I woke up an hour late, and of course didn't get to complete the test like I wanted to. And I just sent it back, and I didn't want to make excuses, and I didn't even tell him that I woke up an hour late, because that just sounds like an undergrad mistake. No. Grad students don't do that. So I just sent him what I had, and I rolled with it. So of course, you know, that was a bad look on me already. Then we get to a week out from my general exam. Now I'll tell you guys, I tried to film some of this because I wanted to do, like, I guess a vlog about like preparing for my general exam and how that was going. I don't know why I thought I had time to do that, but I only got one day or a couple of minutes or whatever worth of footage, because I started filming exactly a week out, and this was a week that I was supposed to submit a rough draft of the written things that I was turning in to my committee. So my professor was like, hey, can you come in, let's meet and talk about what you're supposed to be turning in today. Like, and I'm like, I don't really have much. Like, all I have is this and this, and I guess that's just what it's gonna be. You know, I guess we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do. So I go to his office. I do have a little bit of footage of that. I don't know, I guess I'm just have to meet my professor and see which direction this is about to go. If I was my professor, I'd be very upset with me. Hello. As bad as I was feeling about myself, like, I keep forgetting how understanding my professor is, and this is why I will forever preach the importance of having an amazing PI. He was like, my recommendation is that we postpone the general exam. At first I'm thinking to myself like, man, I don't want to do that, because then I still have to sit with this stress for even longer, when I was telling myself, oh, next week it'll be all over. But then at the same time, like, if I was to turn in what I had now, trash. He decides to recommend that I postpone it. And at that moment, first of all, I didn't even know that was something I had the option to do. I thought I was just SOL and I had to do what I had to do in the time I allowed for myself. He said that, and I could still kind of feel like this. It was a relief to know that I had more time, but then it's also like, man, that means I still gotta hustle and work hard. The gag is, I should have been working hard. Like, this is not for the easy. If getting a PhD was easy, everybody would be doing it. Obviously, this is hard work, and I just been real distracted and just not doing what I needed to do. So we kind of rescheduled it from December to sometime in February. Haven't picked an exact date yet. But doing that, I kind of felt like a big old failure. Like, and he said it wasn't a big deal, but I still felt like, you know, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And I hate to feel like I'm doing this and what am I doing? I'm not taking it serious. Like, this is an opportunity that a lot of people don't get, and I was just taking it for granted. I said, I just gotta work hard. So I've been super motivated. Like, even sitting here, like, I wanted to film videos and do my content and just get back on top of things. Like, I don't know what happened, but I just got so distracted. And if grad school is in your future and you have a procrastination going on, y'all better deal with it. And if you have anything going on outside of that, any personal things going on, try to deal with it. Seek help if you need to, because child, that shit, like, it's gonna come up. It's gonna come up. Getting a PhD is not easy, and it'll bring things out that you ain't even know. Anyway, I'm not about to get into all that, but basically I said all that to say I just learned a lot. And like I said, this is my 4th year, bro. Like, I should have been hit this point of realization, I guess. Getting a PhD is not easy, and if that's something you want to do, be ready to dedicate yourself. And plus, I have an amazing PI. Let me say that. Like, I can really be honest with him and say, like, hey, like, I'm just not motivated to do this work. Like, what can I do? How can I fix this? Rather than me just sitting at home being unmotivated. And he understands me as a person. I swear, like, I have my PI, bro, and a great PI will make all the difference. I can't believe he be dealing with me doing this, though. I'm so grateful for him, though, because he really be dealing with me. He deals with me like a father would a child. So he understands that we're not perfect. You know, we're people. We're grad students. Like, we're not just robots. I think I've hit all the major points I wanted to hit. So I'm just gonna go and end the video. I could keep talking on and on and on and on and on, because I feel like this was a major moment in my life, you know, like a coming to, is that what they call it? Or an epiphany, or just a moment of clarity, I guess. But I just wanted to come in and explain, like, why I've been so busy, or why I hadn't posted, or why I've been filming stuff, and I couldn't, because I get really nitpicky when I edit, and it takes me a long time. And I like things to be exactly how I see it in my head, and I have to figure out. Anyway, I miss talking to the camera. But if you guys enjoyed this story time, or if you're looking for grad school advice, or if you have any questions for what I did, what I've been through, what I'm going through, what I'm doing, drop it down below. Let me know what's going on. Maybe I'll be able to help, since I'm 4 years into this. But don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.